At the end of this week's parasha, Parashat Shelach, we have the parasha of tzitzit. The Torah commands us to put tzitziyot, put these strings on the corner of our garments. And the pasuk says that v'natenu ala tzitzit hakanaf, and you place on the tzitzit on the four corners of your garment, petil techelet, a techelet thread, which is close to blue. Uritem oton, you'll look at these tzitziyot. Uzchartem et kol mitzvot Hashem. You remember all the mitzvot. Question. How by looking at the tzitziyot, at the strings on the corner of my garment, is it going to remind me of the mitzvot? So the Ramban quotes a famous Gemara Menachot. You want to know why? Because the techelet dome layam, looks like the sea. Yam, the sea, dome larakia, looks like the sky. V'rakia, the sky, dome lekisei hakavod. The sky looks like Hashem's throne, as Yechezkel describes it. Livnat hasapir is some sort of blue. So therefore, I'll see the color blue on my tzitzit, which remind me of the sea, which reminds me of the sky, which reminds me of Hashem's throne. What does that mean? Why do I need all those steps? Why can't I just look up at the sky? So this Gemara needs explanation. But the Ramban explains and he says something fascinating. He says, whenever you're looking at something that has no boundary, that at least as far as we can tell, has no boundary, it appears blue. When you're looking at the ocean from up close, water is clear. If it's dirty, it's murky, it's brown, it looks green sometimes. Only when you look at it from far away does it appear blue. When we look at something that seemingly has no boundary, in the worlds of Tehillim, the sea really has no boundary. God imposed an artificial boundary on the sea because water wants to spread everywhere. So it appears blue. The rakia, the sky, in a sense, also has no boundary. So it appears blue to us. And Kisei HaKavod, God's throne, Hashem is referred to as En Sof. Hashem has no boundaries. Hashem is infinite. So the idea is when we look at the Tchelet, it reminds us of the sea, which is En Sof, has no boundaries. We look up to Rakia, at the heavens, we'll recognize it has no boundary. And it will remind us of the Kisei HaKavod, Hashem's throne. That's En Sof. Hashem is infinite and has no boundaries. See, by looking at the contrast of the lavan, of the white of the tzitzit, and the blue of the tchelet, it reminds us of who we are and our role and what the mitzvot are. See, lavan, the color white, in a sense is the foundation of all color. When you take all the colors, you would spin them in a centrifuge, fast. What do they look like? Looks like the color white. In the words of Chazal, of our sages, white is the root, is the color which all colors are placed on. White is the beginning of everything. So when I look at tzitzit and I see white and I see blue, I'm seeing the world from beginning, from lavan, from its beginning to blue, to chelet, and sof, till the end. And I see reality from beginning to end. I see the whole world clearly. And I see my purpose in it. And I remember all the mitzvot that Hashem commanded me. That's the message of the tzitzit and the chelet. And why are they here? Why of all places the Torah placed the mitzvah of tzitzit in our parasha? You see, in the beginning of the parasha, we have the story of the meraglim, of the spies. And they were sent to see Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel, and come back and describe its beauty and encourage the Jewish people. But instead they came home. They came back to the people and they disparaged the land. See, the meraglim couldn't see Eretz Yisrael for what it was. They saw what they wanted to see. For whatever reason, they didn't want to go. So they didn't see Eretz Yisrael for what it was. And they came back with a bad report. So at the end of the parasha, to those of all future generations, remember, Don't see what you want to see. See reality for what it is. See the world from beginning to end. You see, but today, we no longer have Techelet. The Midrash Rabbah says that when the Bet HaMikdash was destroyed, the second temple was destroyed, Techelet was nignaz. We didn't forget. It wasn't lost. It was hidden. You see, once the Bet HaMikdash was destroyed, we no longer have the full ability to see reality of what it is. We can't see from beginning, from Lavan to Techelet Blu to Ein Sof to the end. We can't see reality. We can't see clearly. So to remind us that our eyes deceive us, we lost. They hid away the Techelet. We walk through the world and see the world. Unfortunately, we're skewed. We see what we want to see. We don't see reality for what it is. So Torah tells us at the end of the parasha, don't make the same mistake the Meraglim made. Look at the tzitzit and see reality for what it is. And if you're not seeing it, recognize the problem is not with reality. The problem is with us. That's what the Techelet is not here to remind us. We live in a crazy world. A world where the whole world really just talks, speaks, and sees what it wants to see, but it can't see reality. Our job is to see reality for what it is, see the world, and see Hashem in our world. Shabbat Shalom.